Good morning, YouTube, BookTube. This is Johnny. Time to make a video. It is November the 20th, 2019. It is a Wednesday morning here in West Michigan. Once again, it's dreary outside. It's not snowing. It's supposed to rain tomorrow. I was looking out in our backyard this morning. I look out in the backyard because we have rabbits, and I haven't seen the rabbits lately. We have two rabbits that I see in our backyard, and I always look for them. And I noticed that the snow has melted in the backyard. I never got around to raking the backyard. I did rake the front yard and got most of the leaves into the street. The city of Holland picks them up, the leaves, but only after November they don't pick them up anymore. So last year what I did is that I'd rake the leaves up in the backyard and put them into a waste container that they also pick up leaves and branches in a big container. That I did that last year, so I might do that today, is go out in the backyard and rake them up and put them into a container. The problem is that they're really wet, so when you fill the container up, it's like a big garbage can, plastic on wheels. It weighs a ton. We live on a hill, and we have an open basement, and so I have to lug up that ton up the hill. But I should do it before it snows again. Anyway, this is a Wednesday morning. It is 8:04, and I'm just going to. I volunteered at the library used bookstore Monday, and I got some books, and I thought I'd show them. First of all, as far as my diary this morning, as you all know, I look at my YouTube channel as part of my diary, a recording historical videos of my day-to-day life in the fallen world. I'm on page 948 this morning. I should hit 1,000 pages by next month. I always do. Every year I reach around 1,000 pages in my diary. I usually average 2 to 3 pages a day in my paper diary. I did get out to read this morning Psalms Old and New, Exegesis, Intertextuality, and Hermeneutics by Witherington III. I'm going to buy today his same book on Isaiah, Old and New, Exegesis, Intertextuality, and Hermeneutics. I'm going to buy all these. As I mentioned in past videos, I have a lot of Witherington's books. He's written almost a library. I think I did a video a while back showing you all the books I have by Witherington. I have at least over 20 of his books. He's not a Calvinist. I think he's evangelical. I think he's more of a Methodist. But I like him because he's read everybody in his field of New Testament commentaries and New Testament theology. He's read everything, and he always summarizes other people's positions and their views, and then he sets his own view. I think he's very easy to read. He's not complex. So I've always liked his books. I could do another video showing all his books. I do recommend him, but realizing that he is not a Calvinist. But he seeks to be faithful to Scripture. So anyway, I got that out. Last night, I read some more of The Dreamed Part by Rodrigo Fresan. This is really like a bad acid trip. That's what this book really is. It says in the back, following his failure to break into the Hadron Collider and merge with the so-called God particle, the writer from the invented part can no longer write or sleep. Instead, he lies awake, imagining and reimagining key moments of his life, spinning out a series of insomniac visions every bit as thought-provoking as they are dreamlike. A mysterious foundation dedicated to preserving dreams suddenly inviolable in the wake of the dream-eradicating white plague, a psycho-lyrical photophobic terrorist, an electric and mercurial lullaby, three lunatic sisters, and an eclipsed brother who writes from the darkest side of the most withering lunar heights, a hallucinating prisoner, a illusionary family, a genius addicted to butterflies, an FBI agent addicted to that genius, a loony and liturgic uncle and parents who model but are not model parents, a revolutionary staging of Shakespeare for the children of chick gorillas, a city of sleepless bookshops, and a writer who might be 100 years old or not. See, it sounds like an acid trip. But I just read it because it's kind of like, I don't know, I like reading all kinds of literature, even stuff that maybe I'm scratching in my head the whole time. Now, what is this? But I don't know. So I read that last night. And these are the books I got from the book Nook. Monday, The Architect of Happiness by Alain de Botton. Now I showed you, I got this one last week. The Art of Travel by Alain de Botton. So another one of his books came in, which is really unusual. And I showed you that I had his other books in our library. Alain de Botton, How Proust Can Change Your Life. And then I had this one also by him, The Consolation of Philosophy. So I have like 4 of his books now. So he's really popular. When I cataloged him in library thing, thousands of people have his books. So I've never read them. I started collecting them. I don't know, I just collect things. Then I picked up this book called Born on a Mountaintop, The Road with Davy Crockett and the Ghosts of the Wild Frontier by Bob Thompson. It says here in the back, the pioneer, congressman, martyr of the Alamo, king of the wild frontier. As with all great legends, Davy Crockett has been retold many times. Over the years, he has been repeatedly reinvented by historians and popular storytellers. In Born on a Mountaintop, Bob Thompson combines the stories of the real hero and his Disney-enhanced afterlife as he delves into our love for an American icon. In the road trip tradition of Sarah Vowell and Tony Horowitz. Now, I've shown you, I collect Tony Horowitz. He just died recently. I collect his books too. Thompson follows Crockett's footsteps from his birthplace in East Tennessee to Washington, where he served 3 terms in Congress, and to Texas and the gates of the Alamo, seeking out those who know, love, and are still willing to fight over Davy's life and legacy. So yeah, when we lived in Texas, we went to San Antonio and visit the Alamo with our kids when they were really little. So this is on Davy Crockett. I remember watching Davy Crockett on Walt Disney when I was a kid. And I have a book on Daniel Boone. I have a book on Sam Houston, all those who fought at the Alamo, Davy Crockett. And then I found this novel by Bonnie J. Campbell. She is a short story writer. She writes novels. This is called The Q Road by Bonnie T. Campbell. I have 2 other books by her. I have a novel by her and a volume of short stories. I really like her writings. Her novels take place. She's from Michigan, so her novels take place in novels, the stories. So I found this. Yeah, she's kind of like one of those she writes about rural life, people who live, down dirt roads and live by rivers, and they're kind of like rural people, country people not in the city. Anyway. I found a hardback of the Greenlanders by Jane Smiley. I already had a paperback edition of Jane Smiley. Now, I mentioned that last year I got rid of 19 boxes of books, and I had a whole collection of Jane Smiley. And for many years I looked for the Greenlanders and never found it. And so then when I was going through the books and was getting rid of books, I said, well, I'm never going to read Jane Smiley, and so I got rid of them. And right after I got rid of all her books, I had like 20 of her books, I found a thrift store, the Greenlanders, the one I've been looking for years and years at used book sales and thrift stores. I finally found the copy, and then one came into the Book Nook this week. So I'm still gonna. I don't have any more Jane Smiley books, but I do want to keep this one. So I want to read it someday. And then I found this book on the inheritance of Rome. It's a nonfiction, illuminating the Dark Ages from 400 to the year 1000. I am into world history, ancient history, medieval history, the Renaissance, the Reformation. And it's only at $2, this book. And I have all kinds of books in the Middle Ages, and they look kind of interesting. An overview of the years from the year 400 to year 1000. Inheritance of Rome by Chris Wickham. So those are the books I got at the Book Nook, used books. David Crockett, Born on a Mountaintop. So now I can put these down on the lower level, get rid of them, getting them on my site. Yeah, I do recommend Bonnie J. Campbell's writings. I really like her writings. And so I recommend her writings. So yeah, so today is a Wednesday and my wife comes home from being out in Denver, Colorado for a week. She has a layover for 6 hours in Denver. She wanted a straight flight from Denver to Grand Rapids. She didn't want to get a flight like in Chicago and have to take another flight to Grand Rapids. She wanted a straight flight. Well, the only one they had was this one. But you have a 5-hour wait in Denver to her plane leaves around 6:30, and it's only a 2-hour flight, 2 or 3 hours flight from Denver to Grand Rapids. So, Lord willing, unless there's a terrorist attack at the Denver airport or the world comes to an end, she'll be home around midnight tonight. So yeah, she has 4 days off before she goes back to work, so she can kind of recuperate and try to get back into her life here at home. She did talk about already about having the kids over for a Thanksgiving dinner this coming Saturday. So I don't know, when she was in Denver visiting our daughter and their family, she cooked a big Thanksgiving dinner for them. The whole works, turkey and green bean salad and stuffing. She baked pies, and she cranberry sauce and mashed potatoes and the whole works. That's my wife. She just never lets up. She's always working. So she said to me last night about her coming home, she said to vacuum. That's my wife. She said, she doesn't say, well, I look forward to being with you, honey, and we're all going to get cozy together and it's all going to be lovey-dovey. Before I come home, she said to me, I want you to vacuum the floor. That's how my wife is. Very practical, down to earth. Mop the floors, vacuum, clean, get all ready for her to come back. And you think, oh, she's going to come home and fall into my arms, and we've two lovers that have been torn apart are now going to join together. And it's just how my wife is, always practical. It's okay. She's a good woman. So, writing in my diary, 9:48. I'll probably start at 9:49 after I finish this video. I'm still reading this. I really like this. I was really surprised by it. I thought it'd be it's really well written. It's a translation out of the French. But it reads like a French novel from like Balzac or people like that. Balzac, and there was somebody, Flaubert. It reads like that. It's very well written. The translation. It's a good story. I like all the reference to music and underground culture. I just I really like that. That's why I pre-ordered the second volume. See, it says here, Vernon Subtext 1. See the word 1 up there? See 1? You see the 1 by my fingers. See 1? There's a volume 2 coming out. Translation. I don't know how many is in this series, but it's really good. I haven't looked at her other books. This Virgine Despentes. I haven't looked at her other writings. I know she's a radical feminist. She was a prostitute. She's filmed pornography, but her novels are not that way. I haven't come across anything like pornography in this. I don't know, it just seems a straight story. So she could be kind of X-rated, and so you have to be careful. As a Christian, I don't expose myself to things that are really explicitly. I came across a book 2 years ago. It was a translation of a Japanese work by this writer, and I can't remember his name right now, but it was I had to get it from an interlibrary loan. I had read about it, and it was so pornographic and so violent. I couldn't read it. I took it back to the library, and it was really bad. So certain things I will not read. So I am discerning. I don't as a Christian look at pornography or violent sexual things. That's why I don't like like horror films where people are being, slashed up and butchered. I don't like excessive violence. I just don't like that. And there's a certain limit to what I will read and expose myself to as a Christian, because I want to. I don't want to dwell on those things. I want to dwell on things that are not perverted, I suppose. Anyway, I'm just rambling here. I just wanted to show you the books. I got the book Nook Monday. I did go to thrift stores like yesterday around where I live. I didn't see anything. I thought about going to thrift stores today, but I don't know. I should rake the leaves, and I should get the house ready for my wife when she comes home. Just kind of lay low today. So I hope you're having a good week. I thank you for all the really good responses to my last video and all the very kind words. And I know I'm not alone in my views and what I struggle with as a Christian. I know that we're all struggling out there. So until next time, I don't know what else to say. I got nothing coming in the mail as far as books or CDs. I do have a book coming in the mail. I'm supposed to get Will Self's memoirs, Will, sometime. I had ordered it from Amazon UK, and I got an email last week that they were sending it, so I should be getting it anytime. So with that, I'll sign off. Once again, have a good day, have a good week. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the new subscribers, and until next time, bye.